host, LJ Thomas, and today's Purely Positive person is Scotty Smart Gordon. I'm just going to call him Scotty, okay?
That works. All of the above.
Hi, Scotty. How are you today?
I'm pleasant today. How about yourself?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Not a problem. I love the concept of the show.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the concept of your shirt. Smart. Tell us about that.
Well, S.M.A.R.T is my brand. It stands for Some Men Are Really Trying. And I named it S.M.A.R.T because I wanted to brand intelligence back into our community.
Oh.
I looked at what I felt was some of the neglect in our community, and I felt that as a young adult or even a young teenager, at that time, I didn't think it was cool to be smart, and it led to a lot of problems in my life. So therefore, I wanted to implement a brand that we were culture influencers, and we made it cool to do smart and positive things and push that onto our culture in a positive message.
Wow, I really appreciate that. I was one of those smart kids that was in the background.
And I feel like I was one of those smart kids, but I kind of hit it a little bit.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't know how smart I was. I hung with the wrong crowd for a long time.
Shame. But that's what happens.
Right. Everybody wants to fit in. Everybody wants to be cool. So.
Exactly.
So we just try to. I don't feel like we embrace intelligence like we do entertainment or sports. So I wanted to praise academics, and so I wanted to make it one of our slogans is "Smart is the new cool."
Nice. I really like that. So, Some Men Are Really Trying has been in existence for how long?
Well, I've had the business license to do it. It was an idea maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
And then maybe about in August of last year, I really figured out the game plan and how I want to do it. What I did for the first year and a half was sit around and watch other organizations and just study our culture to see how I can implement and how I can have the biggest impact possible.
That was smart.
And then, and then when the hurricanes hit last year, we had our first meeting around August, and then Hurricane Harvey happened, and we were just sitting around watching TV and just looking at the devastation, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with saying you're praying for something, but what can we really do? You know what I mean? And really just trying to create a situation where we are active and holding ourselves accountable and responsible. Not just looking for, celebrities should do this and that. Right. We can start our own. And so it started with the Hurricane Harvey drive where we sent 3 18-wheelers down to Houston for the hurricane. Wow. And after that, the floodgates blew open. And it's just been amazing ever. Like that, I mean, literally, I was in tears from that drive. It was 2 weeks long. Every YMCA was a drop-off location in the city of Atlanta. And to see just so many people come and support and to fill up 3 18-wheelers and then to watch the videos when they got them in Houston and like the whole apartment complex came out to get supplies.
Wow. So
it was just really overwhelming. That was our first big project, and it was just like, oh, this is serious. And
we're really making a difference.
And then as soon as that happened, Irma hit right afterwards.
Right.
So then we got a call from Delta, and we were sharing the storage unit with them, and then they had a way to send a plane down to Puerto Rico. So we went from fill a truck to fill a plane.
Oh, wow.
And then, so it's just been a snowball effect after that. It's been community service and everything after that. It's just been
sweet. Wow. Now, I know that today was a busy day for you.
Yes.
Tell me what you did earlier today.
I just came back from feeding the homeless.
Nice.
So we usually feed the homeless every third Sunday.
Okay.
But we did it a little special because it was Easter Sunday. So we're going to do today, and then we're going to go back to our schedule on April 15th. Will be another Feed the Homeless event. And we're just growing in that, and just what we're trying to do is form an umbrella of positivity. We see a lot of companies, a lot of similar situations that have similar goals, but we're not working together. So what we're trying to do is form an umbrella of positivity and work with each other because we always understand that it's more of a strength in numbers type of thing.
Did you see that look on my face just now? I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
So we have, even today was the first one. One of my mentors, I won't even call him my mentor, he's become like a big brother to me, is attorney Gerald Griggs, the vice president of the NAACP. And we formed like a Batman and Robin tandem. I let him be the Batman. I usually play in the background. I don't mind playing the background. If I have to step up, I will. So sometimes he throws me into an interview here and there. But we formed this partnership, and he came out last time unannounced, not really unannounced. I knew he was coming, but I understood how dedicated he was to helping me. He had just came back from vacation, and it was easy. You could have said, I just got off a flight, I'm tired.
Right.
He came, straight off the plane, straight to feed the homeless.
Wow.
And then a week later, he took what he saw we had. They had a vote for the NAACP chapter, the Atlanta chapter, and they agreed to be a sponsor for us for the rest of the year.
Nice.
So they had a huge turnout today. Today was really amazing. It was really nice to see a lot of new faces out there today.
Very nice. I hope to be out there at the next one.
April 15th? It's my birthday. We April babies.
Yeah, we got that going on. I'm trying to work that out. So, aside from feeding the homeless, what else have you guys done? I'm just curious. I'm nosy.
Okay, well,
Sort of.
last week we just did a book drive. So what we do is we just try to implement ourselves into any situation where we see there's a need for change or something. We try to be solution-based thinkers. So I had a teacher tell me, I'm from the Southwest Atlanta area. She had went by the Cascade Library, Southwest Regional Library, and their children's section looked really empty.
Okay.
So I went by there, I made a video, I put it on my social media. Everybody was like, how is this going on? Why is this going on? So that was February 27th. So I told them, give me a month.
Okay.
They were expecting me to come back with about 100, maybe 200 books.
Okay.
We had 1,100 books.
Nice.
So through contributions, people sending money donations and people dropping off books to us, we were able to raise over 1,000 books and give out boxes of books to all of the surrounding daycares that come to the library on Tuesdays for their reading. So that was one of the projects. Right now, we're getting ready to kick off our Project Prom for April, where we send 10 kids to prom. And we try to more so focus on the lower income areas, people who really need it, because that's where I come from. So I want to make sure that's my focus point and always be on the youth and mentally showing them someone actually cares. Because a lot of times it's just really that they're looking for. It's just someone to be there, someone that they can really feel confident in and not letting them down. So that's one of the things we did. And then we do a turkey drive with Hug Life Cares, which is the nonprofit I also partner with. And that's how I met the NAACP people through there. And then we did 2 Christmas drives. And for Christmas, we did a special needs program at Campbell Elementary School. So we got them over 100 toys. Every kid in the special needs program got a Christmas gift. And then Campbell Elementary, we did another drive E.L. Miller Elementary School. We did another toy drive. My dad used to be a teacher over there. So we sent, Puma sponsored us for that. We got jackets and shoes for a lot of kids over there. And there's one more thing I'm missing. Oh, we did a Black History play at Campbell Elementary. That's why I said it twice. So Campbell Elementary, they had a Black History play called Uhuru, which means freedom in Swahili. And they were looking for a sponsorship. And I have a background in printing shirts and things like that. So we printed up all the shirts for the kids to be in the Uhuru play. So that's been the rundown of our last.
I have so much to talk to you about.
All yours.
I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
You mentioned your dad. I'm sure your parents are ultra proud of you.
Yes.
Tell us about like how it was when you were growing up.
Well, all this stems from my dad. To be honest with you, he's my biggest influence in my life. He has the hugest heart. He is a teacher, and actually, how this came about. So around, he'd be 54 this year. So around his 50th birthday, he used to. When I was younger, he had an all-boys summer camp called Mdogo Kondo, which means Young Warriors. And I was just saying to him at that time, man, we need stuff like that in our community. And me and him have like a best friend relationship. I mean, and he was like, well, why don't you do it? He kind of just challenges me on different things all the time. He plays devil advocate 80% of the time in my life. He's like, and now he's a psychologist, so he's really like Dr. Phil. So it's like he plays devil's advocate, and it's like, I know he's always trying to trigger me into doing something. So it's like, all right, I know what you're doing. But at that time, he was just like, what do you, why don't you get involved a little bit more? And this was a time when the Trayvon Martins and the Mike Brown started to happen. And I started to just understand what was going on in our culture at the time. And really just was like, there's a lot of talking going on, but how do we really get involved? So me and him had that conversation. I told him what I wanted to do. And he was like, go for it. Just, plan it out. And we have a 3-step process. It's like, you dream about it, you plan it, and then you execute it. So that's my 3-step process. So my dad is my biggest influence. I mean, now I'm a little bit more comfortable doing interviews, but like before, I used to be like, what you think they're gonna ask me? Like, give me some ideas. Like, let's do a little. He's like, just be relaxed. Like, just be yourself. Just talk about what you do. So just really realizing how important it is to have that male figure. When you're younger, you don't really understand it until you see so many people who didn't have it and how different they are. So, I mean, me and him are the best of friends. Talk to him he's actually about to start his own nonprofit with the mentorship and counseling program. He just sent me. I was like, why are you texting me at 2 o'clock in the morning? Why are you? It's kind of late. I mean, I'm up, but don't you gotta go work in the morning? And then he called me before he went to work. I was like, you are excited. He's doing something called Mentor. Mentor was a mentorship mixed with counseling. So he's a counselor over DeKalb County. So he's doing drug rehab and kids, understanding the psychology of it. And that's really helped me to understand people, watching him go through that process of becoming a psychologist and getting to understand the whys of what people do, understanding that there's an impact, that they're looking or searching for something. Every action has a why behind it. So it's like when you look at the social media, you have to understand the negativity that's put out there, or that's why they're searching for attention in a certain aspect of it, or they're searching for love, or it's something that they're searching for. There's a why to everything. So it's helped me to understand people a little bit better just by seeing him go through and become a psychologist, and him always in my ear. It's like now I get it, and it's just like, oh, I can see why you act the way you do, and you can really have a better understanding of. I feel like we have this saying where you can't really understand somebody until you understand their perspective. And you can't really get to know them until you understand where they come from and what they went through to create that thought process. Mm-hmm. So that's my right hand right there. That's my guy.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
That is absolutely beautiful because you don't see that.
Right.
Normally you don't see it. So to hear you talk about it, oh my goodness, I'm over here just smiling because it's absolutely beautiful. You know, so many kids grow up without their fathers, and it's so important for men, young boys to have their fathers around, you know, more than just being a provider, but to actually be in their lives, interact, help them make choices and decisions and guide them, that kind of stuff.
And I mean, he, like I said, even growing up, I have so many play God systems, because he used to have students that were struggling in his classes. He'd take them in, and literally they'd be living with us. And I'm like, who is this? Like, I got about five God sisters that just happened one day where they were in his class, and he was like, yeah, I gotta, you know. That's just how he is. And he was only not like, we're not financially just wealthy. He was a teacher. So it wasn't like he had
a lot of money.
Right. So he just, you know, he would just do what he could. It was just in him to do it. So I feel like it just rubbed off on me, and just seeing that, and it just became, you know, something I wanted to do. And it's just like, you know what? I mean, he kind of pushed me towards teaching, but I more so love the mentorship side of it. It was like, me and school didn't have the best relationship. So
really?
Yeah. That's, like I said, I have a troubled past. I was a troubled teen, early adult. To about 25, I was a complete mess up.
Well, but look at you now.
Right.
But though, I understand where you're coming from, because I was one of those too, and it seems like because you experienced that in a younger life, you could, like you said earlier, you can identify with people facing those types of struggles, and it's easier to reach them because
you're relatable more than
exactly.
It's like some people always joke with me. Somebody asked me, because I have some friends that, you know, live a different lifestyle, and I hang out in the Bluff. You know, that's a real tough area, but at the same time, those have been my friends since 9th, 10th grade. You know what I mean? And if I'm downtown, I'm not doing nothing. Hey, bro, what you got going on? I'm about to pull up and just kick it with you for a little while. You know what I mean? People are like, you don't feel uncomfortable? I'm like, I'm from Campbellton Road.
Right.
Southwest Atlanta. Like, right, this is comfortable to me. Like, I'd rather kick it with them than be around, because the lane I'm getting into now is a lot of, not too many genuine people. And it's starting to come across. So it's frustrating, because at the same time, there's so many people that want to help and support, but it's always like, what are your motives? What really are you here for the cameras? Are you here for, you know, to try to push across your message? Because most of the time, even today, we had a few camera crews out there, but when they release the big video, you probably won't see me in it. Because I'm in work mode. I'm there to make sure everything runs accordingly and just make sure it flows how we plan on having it flow. So that's my thing. Like, I'm not afraid of the camera, but I'm comfortable in smaller settings. I tell Griggs all the time, when we had the March for Our Lives, I was there with him. I was like, don't pass me that bullhorn. That's not,
that's not me.
I just stand behind you. You know, I'm with you, but I ain't the hoorah type of guy. I don't do it all now. I can plan it out and be right beside you and look good for the cameras, but I'm not leading the march. That's not my lane just yet. I'm not great with public speaking just yet. I'm not that comfortable.
But you're doing good.
This is a good setting for me. I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable?
Yeah, when it's like hundreds of people, heartbeat about to come out my chest.
I understand. Look,
that's not me just yet.
I understand more than you know.
I'm like, I'm like, I just gotta go. Can I get some air or something? They had me. They had me talking.
Oxygen.
Exactly. They made me talk in front of the whole gymnasium for that play because I was a sponsor. I was like, ooh, I gotta go outside, y'all. Let me know when y'all ready for me to come in. Y'all just, right. I'm ready. Right. So I'm just embracing it. So I'm enjoying the process of just building my brand. It's really an incredible process to be going through right now.
That's great. I appreciate what you are doing. And I say that because I can think of so many things that we have the same thought process on. For instance, we did a show with someone earlier this year, and I believe Mr. Griggs was there, and that's where I met him. But I have to check and see. But I am so excited about working with you on things. You don't know that yet, but anyway, it's coming. Feeding the homeless and definitely. Books. I love books. So we're going to definitely be doing some things like that. I also want to find out if someone wants to get involved with anything that you're doing, what's the best way for them to do that?
Social media has been the biggest advocate for spreading the word right now. Okay. If they're on Instagram, Scotty, SCOTTY.smart. Also, we have somemenarreallytrying.com where you can always go on there and get information from us. I'm actually working on, because we have so much going on, I'm starting to do a newsletter. Really? A monthly newsletter, because I didn't mention that. When we did when Black Panther came out, we rented out a Lank Station. And we did our own premiere there. So we sold tickets and just raised money for it. And when we did that, we got like a long email list. And a lot of people asked for information. So we started to do a newsletter. It's just, like I said, trying to keep up with everything is, just keeping people informed. Because people do want to really help if they know what's going on. So, we're just trying to keep it. And like I said, definitely working with whomever is interested in doing something positive. That's what we're trying to push. Is like, we understand there's we do struggle. Right. But as long as you're trying to do something positive, as long as you're trying it, like my younger brother just did a year 2 in jail, but he got out and he's been working as a land. He couldn't get a good job at first. He was frustrated because I really saw that he wanted to work at this point in his life. He didn't want to be running the streets anymore. And him and my uncle started a landscaping business. Oh. So I'm just so proud of him. Just like, he don't want to talk to those street dudes. Bro, I just want to go to work. Like, I know that's right. Like when I got locked up, when nobody there for me. So it's just understanding and being around those situations where I've also feel like I've been blessed to not have a major setback. I've had minor setbacks, but I haven't had a long-term setback where I had to do any serious jail time or anything like that. So I feel like that's a blessing in itself, to whereas I want to pass my blessings along. Even though I may not be financially wealthy, but we can do other things to show people we still genuinely care and feel like we are blessed and do God's work.
You're absolutely right. That's one of the things that helped me. I have 2 daughters, and we were not financially well off, but it was my time that they wanted. Exactly. And that's what a lot of people want. It's your time. They don't care about your money. They'll come up to your house and all you have is water to drink, and
they just enjoy being you, right? They just enjoy being around you. That's the thing with me mentoring. Like one of the kids, he plays AAU basketball, and I think he's gonna probably go Division I. He's one of the top 100 recruits in the nation right now. Okay. And I mean, literally, my bloop 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 all day long. I'm just like. He's like, why you didn't come to my game? We won the championship today by 30. Oh, you're feeding homeless. Okay, my bad. So he's looking on my Instagram and seeing like, but at the same time, we built that relationship to where if he has a game and it's locally, he's expecting me to be there. Yeah, like I call it supportive Saturdays, where some of the kids, we mentor about 8 kids right now. Okay. And so most of them are involved in sports, and we don't limit it to just young men. I do feel like I feel like the women are the key, honestly. Yes.
My bad.
But I do feel like the women are the gatekeepers to our culture, and as long as they raise the standards, guys are gonna go after the women regardless. So if you make it a little bit more difficult for them if they want you better.
Standard up here. Come on.
You know what Mary McLeod Bethune has said.
What's that?
She said that the true worth of a race must be measured by the character of its woman.
I also heard Elijah Muhammad said that as well. Yes. Yeah, something very similar. So yeah, I do believe that. Like when I first, about 3 years ago, I wrote an article called "A Woman's Worth," and it was really just dictating how the media isn't really critiquing or really putting a positive image out on women right now, and it's having a negative effect on our community because so many people see the women that are praised, and it's really negative. The Real Housewives. You got 40-year-old loud women. That's not That's not what
bad
you.
Attitudes.
Right. That's just not
Can
what
you perpetuate education and being a good woman and raising your kids?
But a lot of that was the basis for us producing this show.
Right.
Well, definitely. And that's why, actually, that's funny because in that article I was saying, why don't we have those good sitcoms or good shows of we don't have people that can write positive images, you know? I mean, because it's all based off ratings, of course. But at the same time, The Cosby Show did well. You know, shows like that and that showed black people doing positive things and having a good household. You could still be funny. Martin wasn't negative, you know. You know, the Wayans brothers, they were a little, you know, but we haven't had any sitcoms like that in a long time. To really, well, I would love to be a part of it.
Okay, then. We'll talk after this interview. I'm working on it.
But it's just
living single, different world.
Exactly. There were about kids going to college. Now all you see is everybody fighting and, you know, and it's like, they put that as if that's the only thing we care about. And then people don't really realize how much of an impact that has on you psychologically when you think that's what you're seeing. Oh, it's just a TV show. But really, it's not just a TV show, you know. Because if I told you to turn it off, you have a whole attitude about it. I'm just like, excuse me, I don't want no beef. I'm okay.
Right.
It's not a problem.
Right.
But I think, you know, like I said, the culture and it's about the images you put out there.
It is.
So I even on Instagram, I have a hashtag positive images of success.
Nice.
And it's just more so putting out good information to showing why don't we celebrate the right things or highlight that. As much as we put those little kids dancing on okay, that's cool, it's nice, it's funny. But can your kid read a whole paragraph out loud?
First of all, can your kid read?
Right. Right. He know all the rap songs now.
Right.
He know every.
And all the curse words.
Right. So can he really give me a whole page? Just, you know what I mean? And I think little small things like that, I call it poking the bear. I'm a social media just agitator at some things. But at the same time, I want you to open your mind to receive and think on your own. One of the biggest things I learned with studying our culture is the disconnect we have. And it's between people who have good information and they want to share it, but they don't know how to communicate with other people. And the thing is, you can't talk to people or talk at people. Right. And I always give even with the S.M.A.R.T scenario, I give 2 examples. If I tell you, if I be like, oh, you dumb, you stupid, you know, just, you're going to be defensive, you're going to shut down. Exactly. But if I come to you and ask you, do you think that's smart? Was that the best thing for you to do?
Was that a good decision?
You open your mind up to thinking on your own. You like it might not hit you right that moment, but later on you're like, you know, it really wasn't the best thing I should have did. And now I'm helping you become a critical thinker on your own and really open your mind to bettering yourself. And that's my thing. I want this to be. I know it's like right now because it's new, but I want it to be the norm. You know what I mean? I want this to be the new normal. I want everyone to feel like they can give back, and want everyone to feel like. The biggest thing with me with being able, I'm so reachable. I tell people my phone is always in my hand. Like you hit me, I'm 2 seconds later. You know what I mean? Because we have the social media world and it's just a scroll. So I just feel like I want this to be something where it inspires other people to get involved and to feel like he's just a regular guy. And and it's even funny to say that because I told somebody that they was like, you're not regular. I was like, what's wrong with being regular? Like that's not. I work a regular job. I do, you know, I just focus on different things. Our focus is a little bit different. What we care about, what I'm passionate about, this is my passion. Right. That's a whole different thing, you know? Right. Because your passion changes everything. So, right. It does. So this is what I'm passionate about, and this is what I really genuinely care about. So it's just, these are life goals for me. And, you know, at 30 years old, I feel like this is where I'll be doing for the next 10, 20 years until I'm chasing my forever. I'm chasing my legacy. I'm chasing to say whenever, you know, God forbid, whatever happens to me, they can say at this, even if it happened leaving the studio, bad at car accident, they could say he implemented this, and that would be something my friends could say, okay, you know what, we got to do this because this is what he stood for. So I just feel like, you know, you have to look in that and maximize your days and maximize your efforts because we take a lot for granted. Exactly. And we do take a lot for granted. And I just try to put my all into each and every day because I've been around those struggle situations and those people that spend a lot of time in jail. Been to way too many funerals to be 30 years old. Right. And it's just like, once you get numb to that, to those funerals, it's just like...
Yeah, when you get desensitized and then your whole outlook changes on everything.
Exactly. So it's just more so like, nah, I don't know about tomorrow. Right. We'll figure out what can we do
today to make tomorrow better.
Exactly. The funniest thing is people when they first meet me or they want to link up with me and talk business, they like, well, when are you free? How about tomorrow? That's my as soon as possible. That's my I don't want to wait.
Go ahead now.
Yeah,
and do it.
whenever we can.
Why put off to tomorrow what you can do today? Tomorrow's not promised.
It definitely isn't. So I know a lot of people say that, but I honestly live that, like, let's get it all done. Let's do what we can. Let's maximize our days. And they're like, you're always busy. I'm like, well,
do stuff.
I'm trying to do. I feel like you have to do something productive every day, though.
You do.
I feel like something positive and productive. I don't remember who told me this concept. I wish I could remember, but I have a concept I stole from somebody. I don't know. But what they said was if you took each year of your life and you broke it down to a book, and every day was just a new page of that book, and you only wrote down something positive or productive for that day.
Could you feel it?
How good of a book could you have at the end of that year?
Right.
And every day I've challenged myself, and it's just more so what you're doing in your spare time. You know what I mean? I can sit around and watch sports all day long, but I also can say, you know what? While I'm doing that, let me see what else I can do. And I challenge myself to want to be great. So that's just where I am mentally. It's just challenging myself to accept where I want to be and know, okay, this is my goal, and not looking more so minimizing my long-term goals into baby steps, and just chipping at them each day to where it's like, okay, wow, the NAACP is really paying attention to what we got going on now. Like wow, like I said, we ended up on the cover of the Washington Post. I was like, it was the wrong headline, but it was a nice picture. I was like, we weren't in D.C., but okay, I don't know.
But that's all right, because some men are really trying.
The shirt was on there, too. It was just the shirt.
Some men are really trying.
I was like, wait, that's me. I wasn't paying attention to the camera, but
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, if somebody wants to get in touch, Instagram, the website,
Facebook. My Facebook, actually, I've been trying to change my Facebook name. They won't let me. My Facebook name is Scotty. He's cool. Because 10 to 11. So it's HESCOOL. And like I said, at 18, when I started on Facebook, I wanted to be the coolest person in the world. I just wanted to be so cool. You know what I mean? I just wanted to, I didn't care. I was a party promoter for about 6 years. I was always out partying. So, and that's what really has made what we're doing now so impactful. Because the people that I'm around, they know what I've been through. Right. So they're like, oh no, he's really, no, he had, and then it's a lot of people that have influence. Once you can influence the influencers,
right,
they have a following as well.
Exactly.
So like, I have one of my friends that helps with the Feed the Homeless. He's on Love and Hip Hop right now. And we had an interesting situation with that.
I bet.
They tried to clean up a park, and
anyway,
they was throwing trash on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever the episode airs, it's not gonna be a good. You see us leave. I was like, I can't be a part of this, but it was, for show. So.
Right.
But
it's reality TV.
Yeah, it's just not too much reality.
Right. So, if I call you, well, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, but I'm gonna talk to you tonight about some stuff. You and I, because of the passion that you have in relationship to working with positive things and perpetuating positive things, not just for one little particular thing, that's across the board, pretty much everything that you touch. That's the sense that I'm getting.
Yes.
Okay. So, for everybody who's listening and watching, if you want to work with Scotty, I told you I was going to call him Scotty. If you want to work with Scotty, get in touch with him via social media and be serious.
Yes, definitely. Social media is definitely, and like I said, we're always receiving new opportunities. That's what keeps the ball rolling. We just got a call yesterday from the Meals on Wheels.
Okay.
So we may partner with them when we're not feeding the homeless to deliver the meals to some of the elderly in the community. So it's just about people seeing what we have going on. And one thing that I love about it is that we've always produced, and we've always been able to say, we do the work. More so, that's the biggest thing. It's more, not all the talking, we can sit there and talk all you want to, but the work has to be done. That's my biggest thing. As long as you do the work, I don't care what kind of credit you take for it, but just make sure you do the work. The work is the most important part. So my thing is, we got work to do. And I understand we do have a lot of work to do.
We do have work to do. In more ways than one, we do have work to do.
Let's work.
Let's work. All right. I want to thank you all for joining us today on Purely Positive and for learning more about S.M.A.R.T, which is some men are really trying. Perfect example right here. Scotty, for coming by to see me today. And I'll be talking with you all soon.